Welcome back to this garage, and this time you can see the Volvo has both taillights installed, and we're doing some work. Oh yes, both taillights are in. Now these taillights, when I bought them, you remember it was missing a glass. Turns out I was wrong. These are the brake lamps, and these are fog indicator, backup, driving lights. This plate light didn't work. Replaced the bulb, fixed that problem. Of course, this glass, you can tell if you look at it that it's not right, but it's a brake light and it works just fine now. The brake lights didn't work, which turned out to be a lead that had jumped off up underneath the dashboard. Fixed that courtesy light because it didn't work. That was also a bulb and it didn't stick, which was just bending a couple of tabs and putting it back up there. Now it works, at least when you flip the switch on. It doesn't work with the doors. It seems to be a bad ground somewhere, so I'm gonna have to look into that. Up front, this indicator didn't want to work earlier today. Just background, fixed that problem quickly. That indicator didn't want to work, and that is the lead that runs from there to there. Has a bad connection where it's spliced into here, which is not the best way to do it. So I have to figure out something to do there to fix that problem. And yeah, that's what's going on now. All the lights work, at least. Yesterday I was working a little bit on the engine, trying to get it to run properly because the diesel's when you shut it off. Of course, these Strombergs, they take ATF through that yellow cap. So I filled it up with ATF, not filled it up, but you know, up to spec. Then I was filling with the distributor. It is retarded as much as I can now, and it runs a bit too high. Then there is the dwell on the points, because this thing is supposed to be a 0.016 of an inch or 0.4 of a millimeter opening on the points, but that gives me about 80 degrees dwell, and well, it's supposed to have 59 to 65, which is obviously way too much. I'm gonna have to try to adjust this down. Of course, there are the points, and the dwell you're measuring is on this cam here. So I'm gonna have to put this onto the right spot and then check what I got. Well, I have turned it around now and got on the cam on the points and measured the opening, and that is 0.5 of a millimeter, which is about 0.1 bigger than what it's supposed to be. And I'm gonna go even more, up to 0.6, just to see if that fixes the dwell angle problem. Now, of course, you can see here that it's all the well, most of the tune-up specs on this engine. This is, of course, in Swedish, which I know a lot of people can't read, but of course it says engine type B23A, which is the lower one here. Cylinder volume, of course, you can probably understand that. 2316 for B23A. This is the idle speed. It's 900 plus minus 50 RPM up here. This is just valve lash in and out on a hot engine. You can see warm. That is the timing. On the B21A, it's 10 plus minus 12 degrees at 700 to 800 RPM, but on this B23 it's 7 plus minus 2, so 5 to 9, with the vacuum disconnected. And then this is, well, with the engine oil trans in neutral, and the carbon dioxide should be what, 2.0 plus up to 3 and down to 1.5. So that's not something we're going to bother with. So here is one at 0.6. So I'm going to try to adjust this now. So I have adjusted the engine a little bit now. I turned the idle back down 900 RPM. I put the timing back into where it's supposed to be with the vacuum disconnected. I took the alternator off because the belts keep slipping. So I put some belt grip on the pulleys. Also tightened it up real nice. The dwell I can't seem to do much about because it just doesn't want to go back down. So I think I'll just adjust the opening back down to 0.4 where it wants to be. And let's just see how well adjusted this thing is right now. So ignition is on. You can see that, of course. The temp is back up and tack is ready. There you go, engine running, right about 900 RPM, and it's smooth as silk, really. This engine hasn't been this quiet in ages. Is it just me, or is this light on? No, that's just me. I seem to have a bit of a weird problem because all the lights work, but the warning light in the dash tells me that one of the bulbs isn't working, or one or more. But I don't know what the crap their problem is, because all of them are working. The running lights are on, indicators work, the headlights, high beams and low beams, parking lights, all the indicators, backup lamps, brake lights, running lights, fog lights, license plate lights, everything works. I just don't know what the fuck the problem is. So, I guess we'll see later. Alright, so it is a couple of days later now. I went through the spark plugs on this thing, gapped them, and sanded them a little just to make sure that there's a nice contact patch. Well, not a contact patch, but, you know, a nice surface for the spark to jump from. And put it all back together. It seems to run just fine. It still needs choke when it's cold, obviously. But as soon as you get it a little bit nice and warm, it just fires right up on the key. Other news, I have been working on getting this car a little bit cleaner inside. I just did that a few minutes ago. Sorry about the sun glare there. I'll put my head in the way. I got some of this interior shampoo. You just spray it on, and you're supposed to take it up with a damp sponge or something a little bit harder, so you should suck it up. But and well, also you're supposed to vacuum first and then do this. But I've just done it on the dashboard, just sprayed it on and used a microfiber cloth to wipe it back off essentially, and get most of the dirt up. Still needs a vacuum cleanup on the dashboard because I can see dead flies everywhere. Did that, and it's a little bit better already. I'm going to go through with some Q-tips and clean up all the small nooks and crannies just to make this look a lot nicer. Obviously, I have worked at a car dealership before, so I've cleaned quite a few cars for sale. And, well, this thing is definitely going to need it. Other news, I'm pretty sure I've shown you this before. The cassette player, cassette radio. This thing, the stock Volvo stereo. You can hear snow falling off the car. Yeah. So this thing is an AM FM radio. It has 3 settings of FM and low and... I'm not sure about these. These never works in Norway because we don't have that band. Usually works at night and you catch maybe a radio from England, I think. Done that a few times up at the cabin. But yeah, so the way this works is just radio down here, and then you have the cassette player. I know that some of you might not be old enough to know what a cassette is. If you are, and you're young, but if you are too young to know, but you still know, I applaud you. So this is what we had before we had CDs or MP3s or, you know, iPods. Yeah, I know I said iPods. Or, you know, just regular MP3 players. So, the way this works, because no, this is not an iPod docking station. You don't put your phone in there. You have, if I can fish this thing out of my pocket, one of these. A tiny little plastic cover that holds a cassette inside it. This one is Rolling Stones, Some Girls. I don't know when this thing was published, but it's old enough. Cassette looks real nice, nice and clean. Rolling Stones, Some Girls. There are, well, not a lot of songs on each one. I mean, this one has 10 songs on it. 5 on either side, because you have to flip them. Like this is side 1, this is side 2. And I know that the Beast of Burden is on side 2. So I'm going to play side 2, and I'm not sure how far in to the song, to the cassette side, well, Beast of Burden is. It was song 4, I think. But you just can't choose, you just have to rewind it or forward it. So, ignition on. We'll turn the player on. So yeah, you can hear that the speakers there are not good. They're old. They should be retired a long time ago. So I'm guessing this is what I'm going to be doing for a while now. Sitting in the Volvo listening to Rolling Stones. I'll put the cassette up here. And cruise around. Maybe not. Alright, well that is going to be it for this time. Thank you very much for watching. You can like, comment, and subscribe down below. And I'll be back later with new videos. If there is something in particular you want to see, let me know down in the comments. And I'll get right on it. Like I said, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you later.